do you think there's any merit in restricting your geography? For example, if I'm English speaking, I feel like I could reach the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what if I just focused on Irish entrepreneurs, Irish dog owners, Irish this, Irish that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's any merit to that? Because one thing that jumped out at me while listening to you is you don't have any problems with time zones.
No, not really.
Because all your people are pretty much going to be on the same one.
Yeah.
And that's kind of interesting. So do you think there's merit in geographic targeting?
I think, like, honestly, it's not about geographics. It's about language, because we figured out that people like to listen to stuff in their mother tongue. So I don't have a problem like producing like a course in English. But if I, for example, target the French market, they want to listen to French stuff, right? And if I, for example, go to, I don't know, Italy, they would love like Mission 5 in Italian and not like English. So it's not about geographics, it's about language, because we figured out that people like to learn and listen and do Q&A calls in their mother tongue. So that's basically why we focus on the German-speaking market. So not only Germany, but also like Switzerland and Austria. So I think actually location doesn't matter. It's more about language.
I do think it matters, actually.
Oh, the Germans are in the chat. Let's go.
So I do think it's also about language, but also about the mentality of the people. And I think, for example, that American people do not have the same mentality than we do. So our stuff wouldn't work there, and American stuff wouldn't work here. Or like it, I do think it will work, but not exactly how it will work in the US. So I think you have to look for markets that have the same mentality than your market does. So like, for example, Austria is exactly like we do. So we are also there, but I don't think that our stuff will work in the US, for example. Or we have to iterate it so it will work there, because you have to learn how the mentality works there.
Do you think when you run ads and when you post content on social media, do we trust people that have our accents more? Like, does that come into it as well? Does it help with conversion as opposed to, you know, I know, like, being fully transparent, whenever I'm online, and particularly whenever I was like 16, okay, and I was on YouTube, I would get an ad from some like random American person trying to sell me something, and immediately I'd be like, oh, what a scammer. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas if the same thing, the same offer popped up and he was like, had a Belfast accent, I'd be like, whoa, like, what is this? Is this for me? Like,
yeah. I think that helps too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I do think we also have a client, which is like in German, but has a Russian accent. And all his clients are Germans with a Russian accent.
Oh, interesting. I just think, you know, when you were talking about the unscalable, Max, I think that there's something that I'm seeing on Skool, like a bit of a trend is there's this pressure or expectation or just a desire that people want to like reach the entire world at once straight away. And there's currently 3 people in their group. And I just wonder if, you know, more kind of specific targeting of a niche through something like language or geography, if that could be a nice way to get people started.
Sure.
It's the thesis.
100%.
I don't know. Yeah. Someone say in the comments, someone go run the experiment, someone go actually collect the data, and then we'll share it with the community. That would be awesome.
Sounds great. Yeah. But I think like niche down works.
There's so many people in just one country. I don't see why you would go for the whole world if you can start with one country. And if you max that out, which is nearly impossible, then go to the next one.
So we got like 3.8 million self-employed people in Germany, right?
Whoa.
So we have a long way to go, man. Like we got like 462 paying members in Mission 5. We got like 3.8 million to go.
Bro,
so, yeah,
that is crazy whenever you break it down like that. And that's why I love the economics of Skool is, you know, you've probably heard the thing, a lot of us have, the Kevin Kelly thing about 1,000 true fans. And I always was so attracted to, Seth Godin talks about this a lot, a bunch of other people, this business approach where it's, you don't need to have 1 million customers. You don't need to have 100,000 customers. Actually, if you had 1,000 customers, you could have like a business beyond your wildest dreams.
100%.
And when you think about it like that, like if I have a little chart up on my wall and it's like every time I get one customer, it's like, oh, I have like 999 more to go. It's so reasonable, but it forces you to niche, it forces you to serve, it forces you to actually listen to what people want and feed it all back.